Hey everybody, Coach Bridget here with Herbalife. I'm making this video because I want to share information that I had discovered, and everybody needs to know this. Maybe a few of you guys already know, but I didn't, and I still want to share it. Okay, one of the things I want to talk about first is the videos about personal development, the power of the mind, okay, how the mind works. And for a lot of us who wants more, that wants to be successful and have good health and wealth and abundance, happiness throughout our entire life, for a lot of us, we really know that a lot of it has to do with personal development and being very positive, changing the way our thoughts, the way we think, but our actions. We know that if we give good, we'll receive good. Being grateful for everything that we have, writing it down every day while we're grateful. We do all that. We accept it. We already know that because we've been searching and pursuing something that we want. And part of that is, being positive and changing our habits. Well, I've been changing my habits since I was 24. 24 years old is when I had discovered that being a positive person can bring you happiness and wealth and abundance of everything if you want. It's just a way of thinking. You will ask, you will receive, and you believe, correct? So what are the main basics? Changing the thoughts, your negative thoughts to positive, confronting your fears, because fears come from negative thoughts. The thoughts of, is this for real? Can I do this? Am I able to do it? Am I smart enough to do it? Am I educated to do it? All those thoughts become fear, and then they become doubts, right? You start doubting yourself. You can't doubt yourself and be positive because then you're not going to go nowhere. So it takes time. You got to train your brain, and we know that by being grateful every day. You write it down. Always be in a happy zone. It's a way of thinking. We all know this, right? So let me tell you a little bit about my background. I grew up in a very negative home. They didn't mean, it wasn't like a bad negative home. It was just their habits or the way they spoke to you. They wanted more. My mom was self-employed and she always wanted more. But at the same time, she was very negative because even though she was showing us that she wanted more and she was self-employed, she worked day and night. That woman worked a lot. She would come and then I would hear her talk within the adults about how, well, some of us were not meant to be rich. Well, some of us were meant to struggle. And those were her thoughts. Those were her words coming out of her mouth. So how can you be trying to pursue something and have doubts? At the time, I didn't understand because I was young. But then when I became an adult and a mother, everything changed. The way I saw everything change, and I wanted more. I understood my mom. I was like, okay, I get you what you wanted now. But one thing that we do as leaders, as mentors, as whatever we are, queens and kings of our own life, we find solutions. That's what we do. We find solutions. Okay? So we search. We don't settle. We search and we search and we search until we find answers. Because that's how hungry we are for success and our change in our life. Whatever it is that you want. Whether it's happiness or health or wealth. Whatever it is. We search. And we want it. We'll get it. But it's so hard to come from a negative home or negative thoughts or doubts to start being very positive and believing. That's the hard part. Believing and accepting. So sometimes we're like in the middle, even though we're acting and saying positive things. What about inside? And this is where I want to talk about this right here. So for the past 10 years, I was 24. I just turned 34. It's been 10 years. I've been practicing positive thinking, not holding in grudges. Don't be mad. Put it all in God's hands. Always being a better person. Because all of that balances out with what you want, right? Success and abundance of happiness and everything, right? You can't be bad and try to receive good. You have to be good all the way around. 24/7, even if it means getting hurt. you have to forgive. You know? So, for 10 years, I've been doing this. I'm going to be honest, and yet I have not received what I really want in life. So yes, me being a human being and having the background I have doubts. I question myself. Why isn't it working for me? I don't understand. I've done everything they asked. So for the past 5 years, I've been searching and asking myself and having trouble fighting with my own thoughts back and forth. You know, I want to be positive, then I think negative, and I'm like fighting and I'm going crazy in my head. Okay? And I'm thinking, well, okay, this is hard. But I kept on telling myself it was hard. So what I started doing recently was searching for answers. How do you cross that? And I have learned this. I have learned that we all know we have, two parts of the mind. We have our active mind and a subconscious mind. Okay? And what I have learned is this. When we're trying to change to become a better person, a positive person, we're trying to change with our active mind. We use our active mind for everything to become positive. And what I have discovered is it's not the active mind that we need to change. It's a subconscious mind. Okay? And that right there, I was like, I understand. Wow, okay. The key is change your subconscious mind. That's the one we need to change. To start receiving prosperity, wealth, health, everything in a speed dial way. Okay? With speed. Now, it's challenging because a lot of us don't understand what is a subconscious mind. How do we work that? Okay? A lot of people think the subconscious mind is when we're sleeping. But you need to understand first. Let's understand what the subconscious mind is. Because we use our subconscious even when we're awake. And we don't even know it. Okay? So, let's understand. What is the active mind? And what's the subconscious mind? The active mind is the one that has choices. It decides if we take in or we don't take in. It's the one that chooses. It's active. We have control of it. We know what we're doing with it. The subconscious mind is, we don't have control of it. It's our habits. It's the paradigms that we create throughout life. What are paradigms? Paradigms are habits that have been implanted in us since we were in the womb of our mom. Okay? So when your mom's pregnant with you and then you grow up all these years, they say that the most important years of a child is from when they're 1 to 5 years old because we're sponges. Okay? We know what fear is through our parents. We're born without fear. But it's implanted in us because of the way we're raised. So, if we understand this, we've been implanted with these habits that we didn't like, that we didn't choose to. And it's in our subconscious, okay? Alright, so back to understanding how to work your subconscious. What is your subconscious mind? Let me give you a few examples when you're using your subconscious mind. Maybe for a few guys, if you're like me, when they ask for my phone number, because I don't call myself, I don't dial it, okay? So when they ask for my phone number, I have a hard time remembering my phone number. So what I have to do is pretend that I'm calling myself, and I remember. That is my subconscious. When you have to pretend you're doing something to remember, that is your subconscious working right there. What about when you're trying to put in your PIN code and you can't think of the numbers, but if you pretend you're doing it, you find yourself knowing the numbers. Again, that is your subconscious working. Another good example is when people are tired. Oh, let's put this one, drinking and driving, which is a horrible example, but a lot of people had experienced this. When you're so, under the influence of alcohol, and you go home and you realize, I don't even know how I made it home. I don't even remember. But you made it home safe. Thank God. That was your subconscious driving. Not your active mind, because your active mind was wasted. But your subconscious wasn't. Your subconscious mind knows exactly what freeway to take, what exit to exit on, to turn left into a certain street. They know. It's Why? Because it's a habit. It's a habit. It's a pattern. Okay? So your mind is used to that. Same thing when you're sleeping and you're driving and you realize, I was so tired, I don't remember coming home. Well, because your active mind fell asleep, but your subconscious mind didn't. And you used it to get home. And I know it's happened to a few of us. And I know a few of us can relate to this. Okay? So now that we have the understanding what's the subconscious and what's our active mind, we can start knowing what to reprogram. Okay? And you're probably saying, well, how can we do this? How can we, program our subconscious? You know what? It's not going to be easy. But that's what I have realized. That for the last 10 years, I've been using my active mind, which it worked, which is working because it's helping. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I didn't know that the main key here was your subconscious. Okay? So what can we do to start changing our paradigms, our habits? Going to sleep, listening to nothing but positive thoughts for the next 2 months, nonstop, every day. You got to create new habits. By creating new habits means doing it over and over and over for the next 2 months. Okay? And you know what? And it's going to be a challenge, but it will get easier when you start having control of your thoughts. Okay, so going through this research of learning how to control your mind, or the power of your mind, they also made me understand that, and we all know this, we think with pictures. Okay, right away our mind thinks with pictures. So this is where the visualization, when you try to visualize, see things, that's, the whole vision boards and all of that comes in place, right? Okay. You got to remember that you're going to be battling with your habits. It's a challenge. Because you know what you want, but your bad habits are trying to convince you that that's not it. It's kind of when you tell yourself, okay, today I'm going to get up and talk to some people and pass out flyers. And then suddenly you realize, well, you know what? I got to do laundry. Well, maybe let me do laundry first. And then you realize you're out of energy. Well, that is your subconscious, your bad habits trying to convince you, don't change your habits. Don't change it. Okay, I like to stay here. This habit wants to stay here, so please don't get rid of me. That's what that's telling you. So what we gotta do is recognize your bad habits, recognize them, and then challenge them not to control you. Okay. So then, one thing that I want to test on people is back into with pictures. So when they ask you what kind of car do you drive, you automatically think and you picture your car. For example, I drive a white Navigator, and it's big, and it has an Herbalife sticker, right? I picture it right away. They ask you, picture your home. What home do you have? Right away, boom, it comes in your mind. Your house, it's big, 6 bedrooms, whatever it is. You see it in your mind. But what about if they ask you to picture your mind? What is it that shows up in your brain? If you picture the brain, then you're wrong. That means your mind is not there yet, where you're fork on the road like me. When they asked me to picture my mind, I went straight blank. A brain didn't come to mind, because the brain's not your mind. It's a brain. And I was confused more than ever, because I was like, oh my God, I didn't picture nothing. It just went blank. And they said actually that was a good sign. So when I asked you this and you picture blank, that's a good sign. That means you're in the middle of processing and changing your subconscious, because your subconscious is starting to understand that the mind is the mind and not the brain. Something that we've been brought up since we were little kids. Every time that we talk about the mind, there's a picture of the brain and then like a light in front of the brain. But what we focus on is more of the brain. So subconsciously, we program ourselves to think that the mind is the brain. But it's not, right? So when I said picture your mind and right away you thought of the brain, you need to start separating and understanding where your subconscious is and control it and recognizing it. So when my mind went blank, I was confused, and they said the reason my mind went blank was because I'm in a stage where I'm confused, which I understand the power of the mind, but I still don't fully understand the difference. So that's when I told myself, yeah, I'm confused, and this is what I've been battling for the last 10 years, especially the last 5 years. I've been battling. Why isn't this not working? I don't understand. I should be a better place than I am today already. It's been 10 years. Well, everything has its time, I guess. I guess I didn't have that push that I needed to go for the research and start looking to understand more about positive thinking. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. If you're at where I'm at today, where you've been trying everything and you just feel like you're not getting nowhere, and it's about changing your thoughts, and you know it's about changing your thoughts, let's start changing our subconscious thoughts. Let's start training them by, creating new habits. Get rid of your old habits and start creating new habits. Even if it's silly to do it over and over for the next 2 months. Do it over and over without skipping a day. Just do it. Create new habits. I hope this video helps, because I know for most of us, we've been looking for the same thing. And people that know are going to understand where I'm coming from when it comes about being positive and believing in the power of the mind. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too confusing. If you want to know more, just call me or text me or message me, whatever. I would love to share more and continue learning about the mind together. If you guys would love to do that, it'll be awesome if we can create a paradigm together. See you guys.